You have to go back to April the 6th to find the last time that Indy 11 lost a game away from their home, a 5-3 defeat to high-flying Louisville. FC Tulsa, fresh from their 1-0 home success last Saturday against Memphis, will be buoyed by that performance as they come up against fourth-placed Indy 11 in this cross-conference game tonight. Welcome into One Oak Field. My name is Dave Saunders, joined by former professional Anna Bergel. Anna, 6 days ago, 1-0 win against Memphis. As I've already mentioned, arguably FC Tulsa's best win of the season.
It was, and for me, it was collectively their best defensive performance of the season as well. Able to get the shutout, but also unbelievable goal by Philip Goodrum just really helped energize this offense. Yeah, we've got to have a look at it, haven't we? That goal by Goodrum is the USL Championship goal of the week, and why not? And Diallo did a great job here sticking with the play, able to get a good, dangerous ball in, and then Philip Goodrum did the rest. An unbelievable first touch. You saw his reaction there. And then earlier that week, Dave, they did a great job on the road. Peñaranda, late in this match, able to save the penalty kick and a solid defensive performance as they're able to get a win on the road and then the 3 points at home back-to-back.
They certainly are. What a difference he has made. 3 clean sheets, as you say. And on the other end of things, as he has a nice catch here, Indy 11, 6'7", this goalkeeper, Salt, and he's pretty decent as well, isn't he?
He really is. He's made an immediate impact in the net while on loan from MLS side Portland Timbers. He's had a nod for Team of the Week. He's had a couple of saves of the week as well. So he's going to be an impact tonight and something that FC Tulsa will have to be ready for offensively.
I'll tell you what, we're getting ready here. It's a beautiful, pleasant night here at One Oak Field. We'll be back after the break with your starting lineups and, of course, your first half call. It is FC Tulsa versus Indy 11.
Summertime is back at Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, and we have the perfect getaway for you. Cool off in our spacious freeform pool, grab your favorite drink and chill at the poolside bar, or relax and unwind in a cozy private cabana. Just steps away are tempting restaurants, live entertainment, and a world-class casino gaming experience. At Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, your place to stay and relax.
The experience to adapt, learn, and grow defines Williams. We've delivered natural gas to power change for over a century. Now we're investing in next-gen technologies to move toward a low-carbon future. We can reduce emissions and meet rising energy demands because experience powers us.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists in one place delivering lasting pain relief. By Williams, we make clean energy happen. By Osage Casino Hotel, your place to play. And by OSU Medicine, FC Tulsa's official sports medicine partner. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into One Oak Field as we take a look at the home starting 11. And Anna Bergel alongside me. Pretty familiar because it's an unchanged 11, but we've got an exciting signing on the bench.
We do. FC Tulsa bringing in Batch. He'll be a force off of the bench, as you mentioned. Goodrum with the goal last week made SportsCenter top 10. And then for me, Dave, we talked about it in the pregame, Bourgeois had a great game defensively for FC Tulsa. They looked solid. They looked in control. They did a great job seeing that game through. So we'll see if they can continue that momentum against another tough opponent, another team sitting fourth this time in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Indy 11 as they come in, and 3 changes for their starting 11. Tyler Gibson comes in, Ben Mines comes in, and a familiar Chapman Page, the number 5, who will actually be playing in a back 3, but he has donned an FC Tulsa shirt, as of course as Adrian Dispay. Let's have a quick look at the injury report before we get underway here. And a few out on each team. Rogers, Theo, Bernal and Joey Rogovine for FC Tulsa. Quinn, King, Blake and Musa out for Indy 11. We're just about ready to go in the sunshine, although a lot of the field is now in the shade, so it should be quite pleasant. There's a look at the man who scored that goal of the week, Philip Goodrum, and it is FC Tulsa. Get us underway. Bradley Bourgeois immediately drives the ball out towards Pacheco, and it's going to go out for a throw-in for the team, all in red. There's Adrian Dispay, familiar with this field, of course, having played for FC Tulsa. All in red tonight are Indy 11 up against FC Tulsa, playing from left to right on your screens, and those patina green shirts, white shorts and white socks. Owen Darm having to hook the ball away, back from Tyler Gibson. There's Harvey Sinclair, who's made the right back berth his own, up against Aidan Stanley. Watch out for that matchup, that should be a good one. That's a good ball out here to Ben Mines. Mines, early ball into the box, Darm away, Andrew Booth up towards Philip Goodrum, but Dispay bumped him away, and then there was an infringement, and it will be a free kick. And here's the keys to the game, Anna.
Yeah, you know, FC Tulsa coming off of a really solid victory against Memphis, as we mentioned, and I think a big piece for head coach Mario Sanchez is for this team to just control that mentality, as it says, make sure they control their destiny and take care of the ball. The movement ahead of the ball, very important. Those runs off the ball, they had some success last week when doing things like that, so they'll have to do more of that here to be successful. Last week, Memphis 901 FC was sitting fourth in the Western Conference, and then another solid team, as we mentioned here, with Indy 11 also sitting fourth on the other side in the Eastern Conference. So a couple of tough back-to-back matchups, and if FC Tulsa can make a statement here, I think it can really change the trajectory of their season here.
Aidan Stanley will be playing as a left wing back. It's a back 3, but it's 5 in defence for Indy 11. Here's Harvey Sinclair in a back 4 for FC Tulsa. Nearly finds Stojanovic, but it's picked up here by Dispay. Dispay's just overcooked that one, and it'll be a throw-in for FC Tulsa. The referee tonight is Lorenzo Hernandez, assisted by Jennifer Garner and Swen Yinka Kahinde, and Drew Klemp is the 4th official. There's Owen Darm, left back, has played at right back. He's left back now, and that will be an easy one for the referee to give. Lasso involved there. Welcome in, as I said, to One Oak Field. You're watching on ESPN Plus or Cox Your View or Cox Channel 3 here locally. And it's the team in red, the visitors, Indy 11, with Cam Lindley, who has 28 USL assists to his name. The line being held at the 18-yard line. Lindley holds his left arm aloft, chips it over the top. There's a header from Dispay, which is going to loop on top of the net. And nothing doing, and FC Tulsa have defended pretty well, and you and I were looking at the stats, Anna, and the last 2 games they've kept 2 clean sheets, and that's the first time that's happened this season. Yeah, it's been important for them too, as they build their confidence and just consistency at the back. Peñaranda, a big part of that. He's done a great job, has a solid save percentage, but that starts with the defending in the front. You have players like Philip Goodrum who run tirelessly to make it difficult, and then Bourgeois, Swahi back there doing a great job, and they played so well in that last game, able to
maintain their composure, maturely see that game out, and I think that's a big turning point as they have a consistent lineup at this point. They've found success, and that's going to be key here heading into the back half of the season.
Here's Harvey Sinclair. Right on halfway, goes infield to Lasso. Lasso's the sitting holding midfielder, but finds Pacheco. Pacheco loves to drive from that left-hand side. Good ball into the box, away by Dispay. Picked up by Andrew Booth. Here's Goodrum inside the box, surrounded by defenders. Owen Darm gets a foot in, and there was a late challenge from Philip Goodrum there, and I think it's left Adrian Dispay in a little bit of discomfort. Dispay, as we said, who's two of the back three of donned an FC Tulsa shirt. Dispay, the 30-year-old, first Cuban to play for Indy 11, made 30 starts for FC Tulsa, 1 goal in 2022. Under Salt, 6'7", wearing 0 with the free kick. It's a little bit of pushing and shoving. The referee wants to have a little word here with Owen Darm. And Douglas Martinez. I think they're both saying it's okay, ref. We were just trying to hold our ground here, nothing doing. 6 days ago we had plenty of Pele yellow cards and a couple of sendings offs. You kind of hope for a quieter night for the referee and the players and just see a good game of football. It was certainly dramatic 6 days ago with FC Tulsa winning by that outrageous Philip Goodrum goal, 1-0. Here is the aforementioned in the centre circle. Lays it off here to Boubacar Diallo. Lasso. Pacheco was tripped. They're certainly finding Diogo Pacheco here. He gets fouled, as we'll see on the replay, but he hangs wide on that left-hand side. Of course, on his full debut, scored the couple of goals, didn't he, against Miami in the 2-1 win. And you know, he's just lively, and he's defending a little bit better as well, isn't he?
He is, and he's one of those players as well where he's been a bit quiet as of late, but can really make an impact in a moment's notice. And we've seen moments, as you saw there, where he tries to stay wide, cut inside, really make things happen, attack players, which draws in defenders, leaving other players open. And that's what can make this FC Tulsa offense really dangerous, when we have players like Stojanovic, Diogo, and then Philip Goodrum as well. When they're all moving and making runs and creating space for one another, good things can happen.
Darm having a hurried clearance there. He's given it away in the midfield to Tyler Gibson. Now here's Aidan Stanley. Stanley, lovely threaded ball here. Can he get a decent ball in? It's low into the box. Bourgeois away. Stojanovic is there. There's going to be a shot towards goal. It hits the left foot of Bradley Bourgeois, and it spins away for our first corner of the game.
I think FC Tulsa fortunate there that there wasn't a better connection on that strike. We'll get a look here at the replay. Good build-up on that left side for Indy 11. Dangerous ball in, top of the box, exactly what you want, and then Bourgeois trying to clear, but right to the top of the box. Fortunate there to take a deflection, but a good opportunity here early off of the in-swinger left foot upcoming for Indy.
Yeah, Katrina Freshbeck's corner kick. Here it is, the in-swinger towards the near post. It's flicked on, it's away, back into the area. Pacheco it was, and Lasso who managed to clear the danger. Tyler Gibson will go all the way back to Salt. Gibson, 3 seasons with Lou City. The last time he started a game was at Miami in a 3-1 win on the 12th of May. Here's Andrew Booth, signed from Miami. And a push from Owen Darm there, easy one. Douglas Martinez goes to ground, free kick. And we've played 8.5 minutes here, 0-0. Welcome into any Indy 11 fans. Tonight, your team doing really well this season. There's a clash there, and the referee's going to go with Harvey Sinclair having the free kick. Guerra signs are industry leaders in visa processing for professional athletes. They work hard off the field for the players to succeed on it. Fourth placed Indy 11. Very impressive. Obviously going down by 2-0 against a tough Tampa Bay Rowdies side, but that was a rare defeat for Indy 11, who, let's not forget, went on that 12-match winning streak and a 10 in the league. And bearing in mind they only won one of the first 6 in the league, it's an incredible streak, wasn't it?
It is really impressive, and you mentioned coming off the loss against a good Tampa Bay team, and earlier this week head coach Sean McCauley spoke to the media and mentioned he's not worried in a sense that Indy 11 continues to create chances. They've scored 31 goals this season. They have the ability to score goals, and where it was frustrating as he felt like in that game, they continue to find their way in good areas and opportunities to score, but it sounds obvious, but that's so key in these moments, because you can have possession or you can have those chances, but when you aren't clinical in front of goal, it completely changes the outcome of the game. So they're hoping to come in and change that and hopefully get back on another streak, as you mentioned, Dave.
Yeah, very impressive in that 10-game winning streak that started with the North Carolina 2-1 win, and they went to Monterey Bay and won 1-0, and on it went. Throw in a couple of Open Cup wins as well, and you get the 12 wins on the bounce. And congratulations to Indy 11 and their coaching staff and supporters who've made it to the semi-final of the Open Cup. Tremendous for them, and of course that was helped along with the Atlanta United victory in Atlanta by 2-1. And there is Sean McCauley, and he has done a fantastic job. The Englishman did back in the day work a lot with Sheffield Wednesday. Amongst other clubs, but he's settled in very nicely, thank you, with Indy 11. Here's Andrew Booth, who's settled in well to FC Tulsa. That ball is just a little bit over the top. Nothing doing there for Philip Goodwin or Callum Chapman-Page, and Salt will bowl the ball out here. Josh O'Brien it is. Up to Romario Williams. Hines joins in on the right. Williams again. Ball into the box, headed away by Sawahi. Stanley cushions it down, gets it back again. Aidan Stanley wide on the left-hand side, goes in field to Gibson. Stanley a little bit untidy there, brought down well though by Callum Chapman-Page. In goes Stojanovic and Goodrum, but Tyler Gibson, as he often does, tidies up. Gibson has appeared on this field for Lou City. That ball through, and Peñaranda will calm things down. Your assessment, Adam? We've played 12.5 minutes.
FC Tulsa, as you mentioned, there's been a couple moments where they're trying to settle into this game a bit. They've had some good spells of possession, but they'll have to be mindful. We saw a good example of it here. You talk about the 3-back kind of system that Indy 11 plays, but then they have those wing-backs that can make some good overlapping runs, as you saw Dispay on that last play on the right side, and it causes FC Tulsa to pick a runner and make sure that you're tracking, and that's something that they'll have to be aware of throughout this game. But there have been good moments, good forward runs, trying to release that pass maybe a bit quicker, but both teams still trying to settle in, but so far I think off to a good start.
Here's Bradley Bourgeois going long here, trying to pick out Owen Darm, who's up from left back. Darm goes down and has won a free kick. Good run from Owen Darm, who we were saying, as Ben Mines pleads his innocence, we were saying the other night against Miami, Darm had to defend And you see here on the replay how far he is up the field, and that's a good sign from FC Tulsa's point of view.
It is, especially when players feel like they have the ability to get forward, because we've talked about early in games when you're trying to establish that dominance or want to make sure you want your defender to think of you. You don't want, to be in that opposite position. And Dom doing a great job getting forward, forcing the foul here, and creating a great opportunity for FC Tulsa deep in opposition territory.
Yeah, Harvey Sinclair it is, left of the box, could drive it in here to see what comes off Patina Green. He does indeed do exactly that, and it's headed away onto the, I'm going to say the grassy banks behind the goal there, but it's going to be a Katrina Freshmax corner kick to follow up the free kick. Here is Harvey Sinclair. Sinclair was born in London, represented Scotland because of his Scottish mother. Here he is right-footed. This one to the back post. It's over everybody, back into the area, away by Adrian Dispay. And good play from Stojanovic, who just pulled off everybody there and was able to get the ball back in the box.
Yeah, good positioning and watching that ball come in from the back post. I think he was a bit surprised it made it all the way through. Didn't really connect with it the way that he'd want to. Solt right on top of it. But a good opportunity, again, and FC Tulsa staying in the attacking third here.
Sinclair loops that ball into the box. Here's Bradley Bushwell back to Sinclair. Can he get a decent ball? It comes off the defender, and there's a header just over the top. And that wasn't too far away. It was Alexei Sawahi who was up there. It came off the defender, Anna, so it looped up and maybe took some of the momentum off the ball, which meant that Sawahi couldn't get perhaps what he wanted on the header.
You're right, trying to generate power off of a ball like that is tough. He tried to get up and over it. So we get a quick look here at head coach Mario Sanchez for FC Tulsa. In his first season, has really settled into a rhythm, found a lineup that has been able to find success these last few weeks. And I know the players have enjoyed playing for him.
Now that's a ball through. Yeah, he's a very top guy, and so is reliably informed Mr. McCauley. So we could have two of the nicest coaches on display here tonight. So here's Andrew Booth. Harvey Sinclair has been fully involved inside this first 16 minutes here, 0-0 here at One Oak Field. If you're neutral tuning in, it's FC Tulsa playing in their patina green shirts from left to right against Indy 11 in this cross-conference game. FC Tulsa in the Western, Indy 11 fourth in the Eastern. Here's Boubacar Diallo. Diogo Pacheco likes to run at defences, clips a ball into the box. Got to come loose here. The flag's up though. Callum Chapman-Page and Philip Goodrum went to ground, exchanged a few words, but the offside flag was already up.
And you want to see more of that from Diogo Pacheco. He does such a great job when he just makes that quick decision to run at defenses, forces them to make a decision. You see the collision there, Goodrum and Chapman-Page. But Goodrum, again, just trying to sneak in on that backside, make it dangerous for those defenders. Ultimately offside. And Solt will restart here for Indy 11.
Solt clears into the FC Tulsa half. Pacheco's underneath that, heads it strongly. Goodrum and Chapman-Page having a little bit of a pushing and shoving. Chapman-Page didn't like the slightly late challenge. Chapman-Page, who got sent off in an FC Tulsa shirt in the playoff game down in El Paso, which FC Tulsa lost on penalties. Referee just calming things down out of shot here. But you look for battles all over the field, Anna, and you know this man with the ball, Aidan Stanley against Harvey Sinclair, then you've got the likes of Dispay and Chapman-Page against Philip Goodrum. I mean, there's some good battles on display tonight.
There is, and it's easy to talk about, you know, collectively the team performance and everything has to come together, but in those little moments, it's those individual battles that really matter, and the way that these lineups kind of come together, it breeds a lot of that. So important for each of these players, as we talked about earlier, to kind of establish themselves and make it difficult and make themselves known on the field, and it's been a good competitive match so far as each team trying to kind of edge it out.
The USL Summer of Soccer continues on CBS. Surging Detroit City FC, led by first-year head coach Danny Dichio, hosts newcomer Rhode Island FC with reigning USL Championship Player of the Year Albert Dikwa on August the 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern on the CBS network. Daniel Dichio, the former West Ham United striker back in the day, has done a very good job at Detroit City FC, as we said, in his first year. 0-0 the score here. We're coming up to the 20-minute mark as the ball is played into the box, but Peñaranda can come out and dive on that one, and he's been so impressive, Peñaranda, hasn't he? Not just his penalty save, but you know, we talked about clean sheets, and he's had 2 of them, and he's part of the reason why.
And I mean, coming in kind of later in the season, FC Tulsa's had some quality goalkeepers and they've struggled with injuries and whatnot, and Peñaranda taking advantage of his time, and he's really, you know, put himself in a good position. He's earned the respect of his teammates in the back line. You can tell he's communicating a lot more, and just as the confidence in him continues to build, that bleeds over into, you know, the field players as well, and he's had a great performance, and a really, you mentioned the penalty kick save, and those moments can really help define you and just continue to build on that momentum, and he's definitely had some for FC Tulsa.
It's Dispay striding down the right-hand side of One Oak Field, going a long way. In the end, it comes off Lasso. It's going to be another Katrina Freshmax corner for Indy 11, their second of the match. The crowd quietly waiting for something to happen in this game. And there's Aidan Stanley, who played his college ball at Duke, last 2 seasons with Miami FC, and he's joint top of the league with 7 assists. This one will be an in-swinger with the left foot. Red shirts are plenty, crowding Peñaranda's goal. There's the ball into the box, volleyed away by Bradley Bourgeois, and that will be a throw-in for Indy 11. Throw in then to Indy 11. Ben Mines, who's back in the side. Here's the ball into the box. That's over everybody. It's going to come out here to Aidan Stanley, who does well to get to the byline and pulls it across. Booth away. And Dispay will keep it going by dumping it back into the box, away by Sawahi. That's going to spin away for a throw-in to the away side, and I'm delighted to say, joining us again on the broadcast is Arthur Rogers. Arthur, good evening to you. We'll see if we can turn Arthur up a little bit as the ball comes into the box and headed away by Bradley Bourgeois.
It's very quiet.
And still, the men in red come forward. Here's Aidan Stanley, who's just run out of the field. That's going to be well, it should have been an FC Tulsa throw, but here's O'Brien. Right on halfway. And there is Bradley Bourgeois to head away. Here's Goodrum flicking the ball off, only as far as Stanley. It's getting a bit frantic now. Gibson. And that ball's going to run away, and we can bring in Arthur Rogers. Arthur, thanks so much again for joining us here live on the broadcast. It's been a little bit cagey so far, isn't it? Your thoughts on the game? We're coming up to the 23rd minute.
Definitely. But Indy is a top side, one of the best teams in the USL. They're in the semi-final of the Open Cup. I mean, when you play top teams, you expect this in the openings of the game. You're kind of just feeling them out, feeling each other out, seeing where you can get openings, seeing where you need to shore up, and this is kind of why I expected to the start of the game.
Arthur, electric win last week against Memphis. Talk about just what that meant to the team and the energy inside the locker room after a solid victory like that.
Oh, it was massive, and I mean, the 1-0 is obviously it's a clean sheet, but we felt we could have had more, and it's just something to build on where we're at the minute, and that's kind of what it's been about the past few weeks. It's just about keep going in the right direction, building building the team chemistry, building the team culture, and yeah, it was a great night for the boys.
Indy building again. It's Pay out to Ben Mines. Mines against Owen Darm. Mines is going to go round Darm, then goes down, and that will be a free kick for FC Tulsa to defend here. We'll have a look at the replay with Anna.
Yeah, we alluded to the individual battles all over the field tonight. A little 1v1 action. Mines initially around Owen Dom, and might have been a little bit of contact. We'll see here. Either way, assistant referee right there on top of it, but nonetheless, FC Tulsa in a tough area now defensively is a good opportunity for Indy 11.
Dispay and Chapman Page up from the back. Aidan Stanley will deliver it from the right with his left foot. Here it is, into the box, defended well by Owen Darm, away by Pacheco, only as far as Gibson. Mines will dump it back on that right-hand side, brought down well into the box. Chapman Page will scurry to keep this one in. It's gone out, and we can go back to Arthur Rogers. Arthur, as if there weren't enough Englishmen with me and you in the club, do you know much about our new signing, Mr. Batch?
He's a top player. He's a friend of a friend. I don't know him personally, but obviously I've spent this week with him. He's a great guy. We're very happy to have him in the team, and he's going to bring quality to the team. It's something in an attacking third, we want to score more goals, so the better players we bring in there, the more likely that is to happen. So everyone at the club and the supporters of the club should be very excited.
And that's following up, of course, the wonderful signing of Andrew Booth, who seems to have settled in very well.
Exactly that. The team is headed in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, you know, we alluded to it, you know, the football's good. There's going to be a yellow card for Philip Goodrum, I think, for kicking the ball away. But, you know, Arthur, we said, you know, 2 clean sheets on the bounce. First time that's happened this season. Peñarola's made a big difference. I mean, these signings that FC Tulsa are making are, like you say, they're only strengthening the squad, aren't they?
Exactly. It's iron sharpens iron, is that the saying? I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, the more quality we have in the team, it brings the level up in everyday practice, and that translates to games. So yeah, we're all very happy for the competition, and it just pushes us to be better.
Arthur Rogers, thank you so much again for taking time out. We'll let you go back and try and relax watching this game tonight. All the best to you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Now, Philip Goodrum has gone down, and a yellow card this time for Callum Chapman Page. I believe that's his 7th yellow card of the season. And so that battle is one to keep out for, keep an eye on, because both of those players, Anna Bergel, and that is his 7th yellow card of the season, that, you know, they're both on a yellow card now, so they've got to watch out.
Yeah, as a player, especially when you're on a yellow card, it changes how you play. You don't want to completely change your game. You don't want to feel like you have to be, you know, more reserved or not go in tackles as strong, but it absolutely impacts how Callum Chapman Page will defend Goodrum, and likewise the other way around.
Here's Goodrum now, chance into the box. Good tackle, says the referee. Lasso steps in. Lasso can hit them, but he was blocked by a sea of red shirts. Here's Harvey Sinclair, and that ball is out as the world demands low cost, low carbon energy. Williams will be there with the best transport, storage and delivery solutions. Williams, we make clean energy happen. 0-0 the score, 28th minute. Dave Saunders, Anna Bergel with you in the commentary box here at One Oak Field as Diallo goes on a little run down the right-hand side. Now clips the ball into the box, looking for Goodrum. Dispay got a header in, and O'Brien will get the ball out wide to Aidan Stanley, who promptly gives it away to Booth. And now the ball is spun out to Ben Mines, who's got some room here, taking on Owen Darm into the box. Little shove from Darm. Play on, says the referee, and in the end as a handball. And that was pretty good defending from the young man on loan from Lou City, who gets a little pat on the back from Bradley Bourgeois, Owen Darm.
Dom did well 1v1. Mines finds himself in a good position out wide with space in front of him to drive into. Tries to get around the corner. FC Tulsa did a good job coming back defensively with numbers to make that difficult. Well defended, and Peñaranda will clear this one away for FC Tulsa.
Plays it towards the FC Tulsa left. Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa is your place for fun and entertainment after the match. Enjoy a world-class casino experience with high-stakes tables and over 1,600 electronic games. Just 4 miles from One Oak Field, Osage Casino Hotel, Tulsa. Needless foul given away there. FC Tulsa have a free kick. Here's Sawahi. Sawahi and Bouchoir have pretty much made that centre-back pairing their own. Rashid Tete on the bench. Here is Bouchoir just stepping into the Indy 11 half. Patient build-up from the home side. Edwin Lassa. Diallo tried to turn his man. Stanley to Chapman Page. There's a header on by Douglas Martinez here, who's just got round the back of Bradley Bouchoir. Bouchoir's done well just to usher him towards the touchline. Mines joins in, gives it back to Martinez, the Honduran. And in steps Owen Darn. And it will be a throw-in, which is quickly taken. Dispay into the box, Sawahi away. FC Tulsa having to defend here at 0-0. Wenzati. Gibson to Stanley. Babacar Diallo, that famous 360 turn that he does. And FC Tulsa are defending pretty well. They're up against a good team tonight.
They are, and something that's really pivotal in their game, and I know that Mario Sanchez brings to the squad, is he wants the press. He wants them to initially close down opposition very quickly, and it's important when they do that. And you'll notice they've had good moments here in these last few minutes when you have that initial pressure. Owen Dom did a great job covering in behind Bourgeois, and you have those pressure cover and then that last player to kind of balance everything out. And so it's important when you have all of those links working together, because if one player presses and then it leaves their player open, so really important as a team that they do that. And they did it very well last week, and they've shown some quality here doing it again against Indy, and something that they'll have to continue to do, because Indy 11, as we know, quality attacking side.
Wonderful first time ball from Cam Lindley, sending Ben Mines away here. Mines on a run, good ball now to that right hand side, chipped over the top and over everybody and out. It was a wonderful run from Mines, brilliantly found, as I said, by Cam Lindley. There is Ben Mines. 26 appearances for Miami before signing for Indy 11 in April 2024, and there's Harvey Sinclair. Sinclair is part of the Chelsea Academy. Got an assist for Philip Goodrin's equaliser against Miami. Now here's Goodrin. Goes round, the defender goes down, decision, no penalty. Well, Goodrin can't believe it. Defenders all around the country will be screaming at the set saying brilliant shoulder play. As the ball is put through, it's going to come to nothing. Referee only gets one look at this, Anna Bergel.
Goodrum did a great job here, just trying to continue the momentum. You saw Dispay come in with the shoulder. Could argue a 50-50 there, but maybe on another day the referee makes the call. We've seen Dispay in those positions before concede, but nonetheless, Goodrum frustrated with that decision. FC Tulsa fans not happy with it either, but no call.
Well, it's an interesting one for me, isn't it? When you looked at that, you sometimes see shoulder to shoulder, which is deemed fair, but when a defender leans in and almost barges over the attacker, I think the referee had to make a decision, and as we said, on another day it could have been given. We've seen them given, but he didn't go with it this time. On we go. Owen Darm. Pacheco wide on the left-hand side for FC Tulsa. Booth right on halfway. Sinclair waits wide on the right and will get the ball now. Here he is. Sinclair, good ball into the box, stooping header away from Josh O'Brien. Sinclair did well, but has to beat the first defender there. Here's Andrew Booth, who's been fully involved in this game. Neat and tidy player. Lasso. Babacar Diallo. Booth will find Sinclair again, but in steps Aidan Stanley. Aidan Stanley against Harvey Sinclair, I've said it a couple of times already. Good battle, that one. Both have to defend, you know, when the other team's going forward, and Stanley's done a good job defensively there against Harvey Sinclair.
He has. Both have worked tirelessly up and down that line, and Sinclair, one of his strengths absolutely is his delivery into the box and getting around defenders, and Stanley's made that difficult. He hasn't been able to have those clean looks across for those deliveries, so a good battle between those two. Is FC Tulsa here. Corner kick upcoming.
Katrina Freshmack's corner. Referee just sorting out some pushing and shoving. Babacar Diallo is ready to take the corner. You can see how packed the goal mouth is there. On we go. A couple of players go near post. This is to the back. Stojanovic couldn't get it under control. It will go harmlessly away for a goal kick, and we've played 35 minutes and it remains 0-0. Oklahoma State University Medicine is FC Tulsa's official sports medicine partner. Here is Hunter Salt on loan from Portland Timbers. Harvey Sinclair with a good header there. Here's Diallo. Has to play it back to his left back colleague Owen Darm, who goes back to the left foot of Bradley Bouchoir. Goodrum stumbles. Cam Lindley tidies up for Indy 11. Ball and a long chase. That one's going to go into the corner. Sawahi's there, and Sawahi's done well to see that one go out. In the 4 meetings at One Oak Field between these, 2 wins each. Overall 8 meetings. FC Tulsa 5 wins, Indy 11 2 and a draw. Both Indy wins here. Both of their wins have come here. They've never beaten FC Tulsa on their own patch, including last year when they won 2-1 in the last home game for FC Tulsa in their regular season. Good rivals. Stojanovic trying to head that one in. Tune into ESPN2 for a USL Summer of Soccer showdown as last season's top 2 sides from the East and West face off in an inter-conference clash, with perennial powerhouse Sacramento Republic FC hosting Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC Saturday, August 3rd at 11 p.m. Eastern, as Hines plays a ball in and across the box, but no red shirt on the end of that one.
And Dave, at this point in the game, I mean, Indy 11, they've had some good deliveries into the box. They've had some good work on the wings. Mines has done a good job getting really involved here in this first half, but for both teams at this point, no shots on goal. They've had some good chances. FC Tulsa had a good header by Sawahi early on in this game that went up and over the bar. Indy 11, as we alluded to, has been able to get in good areas, but neither keepers had to really make a solid save, and I think that's going to be key here in the second half and as we close out this first half, because obviously Indy 11 coming off of a loss against Tampa Bay, wanting to get themselves back in the win column, and FC Tulsa trying to build on that solid victory against Memphis 901 FC. So both teams a lot to play for here, but at this point in time, needing to get more opportunities in front of goal and challenge both keepers.
It's a good point you make. Here's Booth. And also to give everybody watching at home or in the stadium a little bit more action and excitement on goal, isn't it? But at the moment, these two cancelling each other out. 0-0. Darm. Pacheco. Up against Hines. Pacheco goes round him. Good ball into the box, and Stojanovic, who's desperate for a goal, nearly gets on the end of that one, and there's a head injury. I think it's Callum Chapman-Page who bravely put his head in there, but Stojanovic almost had the perfect cross from Diogo Pacheco, Anna.
And credit Indy 11's defense, they were not going to allow a clean header there. Pacheco on the left side, we've seen him do it multiple times this evening. When he goes 1v1, he can be very, very dangerous. Does a good job to get around the outside, good ball in. Stojanovic kind of running away from it. It'd be really tough for him to get that momentum back on frame, but a decent ball in, and Indy 11 had numbers and a tough collision there as you see Callum Chapman-Page going down, but good to see him back up. Hopefully nothing too serious here.
May have been his own player, Aidan Stanley, who was in there as well. Stojanovic won't need reminding that he's scoreless in the last 9 games. He is on 3 goals. The last time he scored was in the 2-2 draw at Birmingham Legion. And that was on Saturday, May the 4th. See, he works hard off the ball, Stojanovic. I mean, he's not just a goal scorer, as he does a lot of that unsung hero work in and around Philip Goodrum.
And sometimes I think as a forward, you know, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to score, obviously, but there's so many moments where when you have players around you like Goodrum, like Pacheco, they've really, each of those players have had different spells of being on hot streaks, and that's where...
Stanley with a shot, good save, Peñaranda. Had to beat his best there. Stanley doesn't need too much of an opportunity to strike the ball. Didn't have a lot of backlift there with his left foot. Good shot, good save.
Peñaranda did well there on the initial knockdown. Strong hands. We'll get another look here. Great setup from Stanley. He gets a hold of it, but just dead center, and Peñaranda did well there.
Keeps his average up. He's got a 90% shot save average. Owen Darm. Lasso's got a lot of room here, probably more than he thought he had actually. Will now bring the ball up the field a little bit to the Frenchman Sawahi. Lasso, Goodrum. O'Brien does well. Guenzati. Lindley back to Callum Chapman-Page. Tyler Gibson will spin the ball out to one of the back 3, Josh O'Brien, the 21-year-old, born in Dublin, Ireland. Bourgeois beaten in the air by Williams. Now Lasso. Goodrum wanted that played over the top. Here's Boubacar Diallo slowing it down. Harvey Sinclair. Lasso, slow build up from FC Tulsa up to Goodrum. The top goal scorer now on 4 after the USL Championship goal of the week against Memphis just 6 days ago on this field. Harvey Sinclair. Lasso again. Stojanovic wants a corner here. Referee's going to go with a goal kick. Good build up, just that end pass not there for, you could say either team, but there FC Tulsa in particular.
And FC Tulsa has been better though in being patient and not forcing it. We've seen sometimes they'll resort to that long ball or try to flick it up over the top. So when they're able to calm down and try not to force things and keep more of the possession and wait for those opportunities to open up, they can have more success there. But to your point, that final pass, that final shot that's kind of been a theme throughout the season for FC Tulsa in some of those moments. And obviously Philip Goodrum last week able to be clinical in front of goal, and it ended up ultimately being the game winner. And sometimes it comes down to that. So important for FC Tulsa when they have those opportunities. It sounds simple, but have to take advantage, especially against a quality side like Indy 11.
Yeah, they're a quality side. Their away form is they've won 5, drawn 2, and only lost 2. As I said in the open, the last time they lost away was at Lou City on April 6th. And the only other defeat was at Oakland Roots. Away wins at Birmingham Legion, Pittsburgh, Miami, Monterey Bay and Memphis. They're a very, very good side, and they perform particularly well away from home. Harvey Sinclair then in that right back berth, goes infield to Lasso. Plenty of possession from FC Tulsa. They shade it just about 52 to 48. No, is there a goal in the last few seconds of the first half? There is going to be a free kick. Chapman Page it was with the foul. Got to be careful. He shakes his head. Free kick. It's quite a long way out here, and I just wonder if FC Tulsa have something up their sleeve here. It would be a brave player to go for goal from here.
Especially when you have a goalkeeper like Solt at his size. I think it would be a bold move, so you might see a chip back post or a player pull out wide. So it'll be interesting to see, because this is a good opportunity here. I think we might see a minute or so in extra time, so this might be the last good chance here for FC Tulsa of the first half.
The Select Ball, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. There's a shot just over the bar from Philip Goodrum, who is pretty confident in front of goal, but it was always rising. Dumped away by Indy 11. Here's Booth. Pacheco. Clip from behind by Dispay. Play on, says the referee, playing an advantage. Here's Sinclair. A goal now for FC Tulsa will be priceless. There's a good ball into the box. Where's it going to fall? Mines is there to clear. We're playing the 1 minute of Tulsa stoppage time, and the referee says enough is enough, and we go into half time 0-0. Not too much on goal for either goalkeeper. You could say probably Peñaranda had the save from Aidan Stanley, Anna, but pretty even as we go into the break.
It is. I think you described it well when both teams initially have canceled themselves out. It's been equal in possession. We've had some good individual battles all over the field, but not super material opportunities on goal. As you mentioned, Peñaranda had to make a save. Sawahi had a good header early on for FC Tulsa, but here in this second half, both teams will need to come out with a bit more energy and gumption going forward if they want to break the deadlock here.
Yeah, I wonder if we can have a quick look at the stats. We're going to talk to the coach who's marching over now to the headset, Coach Mario Sanchez, who always comes over and speaks to us, and we'll have a chat with Coach. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a bit nip and tuck, hasn't it? A bit cagey as we go in at 0-0.
You said it, cagey. I was just thinking of walking in. Both teams are getting numbers behind the ball. I think both teams actually been very sloppy in the final third. So it's an interesting game. Yeah, I think you're seeing two teams that respect each other a lot. No one wants to give an inch. So it'll be interesting second half.
Coach, I know coming into this game, some of the keys, own that mentality, movement ahead of the ball. What have you seen in the first half that you've liked? And you alluded to it. What needs to change here in the second half?
Well, what I like is defensively we're solid. I mean, really, really good. You know, they lead the league in crosses, so I think we're handling pretty well. I mean, they had that one shot from distance from Aiden, and that's going to happen. But we need to be way quicker with the ball. Not rush, but just quicker. The ball's staying on our feet way too long. And there is space there. We just got to move the ball quicker. And then really, I go back. I think we got to give Diogo the ball more. I mean, the few times he's been isolated 1v1, he's beat him, and he's gotten good service, and we just don't get him the ball enough right now.
Coach, thank you so much. We'll let you get down and speak to the boys. Thank you. All the best for the second half. That's Coach of FC Tulsa. And we will take a short break. We'll come back and have a look at some news and notes, and we'll give you some highlights that we've pulled out from the first half. But at half-time here at One Oak Field, it is FC Tulsa 0, Indy 11 0.
When I come home, it's like I feel like I'm in my dream home. I've been doing a little research on HELOCs, and I went to Oklahoma Central Credit Union. They were wonderful. We've added pretty much a new addition to our house. We didn't even have to pay the closing cost. They paid it for us. So I've been with Oklahoma Central for quite a while. I'm not going anywhere else.
What would you do if you only had one life to live? Well, that's kind of how this whole thing works. So bite off more than you can chew. Don't wait for someone else's green light. Go after what they say you can't. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. Get skilled, get paid. Tulsa Tech, powered by Oklahoma Career Tech.
Hi, I'm Bill Knight for Bill Knight Ford. When you buy a vehicle from us, your transaction doesn't end when you drive off the lot. That's because all vehicle purchases come backed by the Knight Advantage. This includes a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new vehicles, a 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty on all used vehicles, and a low price guarantee. These exclusive offers help make your car buying experience easier and more affordable. And that's why we're Oklahoma's #1 Ford dealer, Bill Knight Ford, home of the Knight Advantage.
I couldn't lay down, I couldn't stand up.
My shoulder blade and the muscles between the shoulder blades.
Bent over, couldn't stand up straight.
The pain just got progressively worse.
Turns out that I had scoliosis.
When I walked into Tulsa Spine and Rehab for the first time, I definitely felt very welcomed.
Dr. Riley, I just made an automatic connection.
He's going to take care of you and your needs and get you going.
I walked out of here and I didn't have a crick in my neck anymore.
There is truly here the desire to help people get better.
FC Tulsa looking to go 3 games on the bounce without conceding a goal. They're halfway to it as we give you this halftime score of FC Tulsa 0, Indy 11 0.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2,
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Philip Goodrum here, forward for FC Tulsa, Tulsa's pro soccer team. On Friday, August 9th, we play Orange County SC at One Oak Field in downtown Tulsa. We thrive on the energy of the crowd. the noise, the chants, so please come out and support Tulsa's team and help us get a win. Plus, it's dollar beer section night, so you've got to come out. Get your tickets now at fctulsa.com. Pro soccer for Tulsa, FC Tulsa.
Welcome back into One Oak Field. Beautiful evening here for a game of football. Trouble is, we can't bring you goals so far, but what we can do is to have a look at the standings. And we'll start, of course, this is West versus East, so we'll start with the Western Conference standings. New Mexico leading the way, and they're in fourth place. FC Tulsa beat them 6 days ago. FC Tulsa just starting to warm up down there. They've only played 17 games. 3 points tonight would be very, very welcome.
Right, I think important to note that FC Tulsa is a few games back compared to some of the other teams, so some ground to make up there that could really be impactful for them. As a reminder, the top 8 go into the playoffs, so FC Tulsa just outside there, sitting at 10th. And then, as you mentioned, Dave, you know, there's still a lot of movement that can happen here. 3 points can very, very much change the landscape of the conference standings here. And FC Tulsa, as you mentioned, a good win against a tough team higher up in the standings. So if they can continue to do that again here tonight, it could really help them on the back half, continue to build that confidence and momentum heading into when things start to get really important. And every point counts throughout the season, but especially as we get late into the season here, every point counts.
Now, the opponents tonight, Indy 11, they play in the Eastern Conference, and there's somewhat of a symmetry because they're in fourth place as well. And FC Tulsa beat Memphis last week. There's Indy 11 on their 19 games played, 31 points, thanks mainly to that 10-game stretch where they won every single game. Charleston Battery, Lou City, normal suspects up there, and Hartford Athletic and Miami battling it out down there at the bottom. So a long way to go, and we must remind everybody the top 8 in both these go into the playoffs. Indy 11 will want to be in the top 4, because if you're in the top 4 you get a home playoff game. So let's have a look at some scores, and I can tell you there's not been a goal that we can bring you about in any of the 3 games that are being played tonight. It did finish, actually, Hartford Athletic 0, Phoenix Rising 0, and after 22 minutes it is 0-0 between Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC and Las Vegas Lights FC, and of course 0-0 here between FC Tulsa and Indy 11. Lots to look forward to. Tomorrow we've got Detroit City FC and Sacramento going against each other, Miami against Oakland, Rhode Island against North Carolina, and Tampa Bay Rowdies against Charleston Battery. The game's coming thick and fast, and of course a lot of it's to do with the USL Summer of Soccer, the nationally televised games, and 2 attack-minded coaches face off as Brandon Burke's Hartford Athletic hosts Daniel Dickio's Detroit City FC, with Hartford looking to break a 4-game winless streak, while Detroit City FC sits comfortably in the middle of the Eastern Conference standings. And on August the 3rd, the 2 sides with exciting stadium projects will look to build on their momentum in the Eastern Conference this season, as Detroit City FC hosts the first-year expansion side Rhode Island FC. Detroit City FC matches have a reputation for having one of the most exciting and energetic atmospheres in American soccer. Visiting historic Keyworth Stadium is a thrill for fans and a challenge for opponents. Like Oakland, Detroit City have recently accelerated their ambitions, including hiring former Premier League and MLS player Daniel Dickio, as I said, the former West Ham man, as head coach this off-season, and beginning the development process for a new soccer-specific stadium in the city. On the field, the club is having its best season since joining the USL Championship in 2022, with only 1 loss in the last 8 games. In the club's inaugural season, Rhode Island FC is still finding its feet on the field, but they've quickly become an integral part of the New England soccer scene. Coached by former MLS star Carno Smith, Rhode Island FC features a high-powered offense led by former USL Championship Player of the Year Albert Dequa. Off the field, Rhode Island has started construction on the club's new soccer-specific venue in Pawtucket, the stadium at Tidewater Landing, with the team due to open the new stadium next season. We're going to take another quick break. We'll come back and show you what happened in the first half here at One Oak Field. Half-time, 0-0 between FC Tulsa and Indy 11.
Elevate your style with Pinpoint Resource, Tulsa's resource for luxury menswear for over 30 years. From sophisticated casual looks to timeless high-end pieces, we help hone your style with personalized recommendations and fits suited to you. Whether you're seeking pieces for a perfectly curated collection or freshening up for the season ahead, we have looks that take you from workday to weekend and everything in between. Pinpoint Resource, men's finest quality clothing, located in the Farm Shopping Center.
Come by your local Cox store and discover what Cox Mobile can do for you. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability, so wherever life takes you, you'll stay connected to what matters most. Switching to Cox Mobile is easy, and to make things even easier, we've extended our store hours for your convenience. We'll help you find a mobile plan and device that fits your lifestyle and your budget. Stop by a Cox store today.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Williams. We make clean energy happen. By Osage Casino Hotel, your place to play. And by Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists in one place delivering lasting pain relief. Not much in the way to show you, so we're not going to do some highlights, but we will take some stats. Anna, we can see why we didn't show you too many highlights, because there's only been one shot on target.
Yeah, both teams have really canceled each other out. I think that's been the theme here in this first half. It's been quality, some good individual battles, making it just difficult to get any momentum going offensively. Indy 11 with the lone shot on target. Peñaranda had to make a good save. About even in possession, FC Tulsa edges out just a bit, but we heard head coach Mario Sanchez heading into halftime. I think key for FC Tulsa, the options are there, just have to be more decisive, release the ball quicker. Indy 11 on the opposite side has had some good moments where they've gotten in good areas on the wings. They've had good delivery, but no one there on the end of those crosses. So both teams with a bit of work to do here in this second half.
As we get ready now for the second half, and it's going to be Sebastian Guenzati, who started all 19 games before tonight, so 20th start today. The crowd are ready, the referee's ready. Are we going to see the deadlock broken in this second half between these two teams, who've kind of locked it in a little bit, as we were talking to Coach Mario Sanchez as he left the field. Just that one shot on target from Aidan Stanley. The fireworks go off and the ball is driven forward, and Lasso heads it away and Booth volleys the ball on. Here's Boubacar Diallo down that right hand side. Early ball, Dispay gets a header in. Booth, who was one of my blue collar men of the match for FC Tulsa in the first half, to Pacheco. Pacheco, that's a great ball. Goodrum gets there, but stooping header away by Josh O'Brien, who just had to be in the right place at the right time, or Goodrum would have had a free header on goal.
See Goodrum immediately after that play holding up the double thumbs up. Great ball in from Pacheco, had a ton of pace on it, really only needed to be redirected, but well defended, and they'll have to do that again here.
Katrina, fresh max corner into the near post. Pacheco heads it out towards the byline. Clever play from Sinclair to Diallo. Diallo left-footed looping ball into the box. Dispay's there with Goodrum. Mines heads it away. In steps Lasso, and then Lasso goes down, and there was a bit of a clash there between Mines and Lasso. I don't think anybody had any malicious intent whatsoever. Referee's got two players down, one from each side. Lively start, Anna, to the second half, and Pacheco doing what he did does best. Let's just have a look at the replay of Pacheco's ball in, and Goodrum nearly there, but a great defensive header, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And, you know, you heard Mario Sanchez heading into halftime wanting Pacheco to get more of the ball because he's done a great job when he's had it 1v1, attacking at players, and he did an excellent job there, picking his head up, finding that dangerous ball in. As you get a look at Lasso there, it looks like he received a yellow card after that play. A bit awkward. I don't think it was anything, as you mentioned, Dave, super malicious or intentional, but yellow card given, and Indy 11 will have a free kick upcoming here to get things going.
Edwin Lasso's 6th Pella yellow card of the season. Salt towards that right-hand side. Mines plays the ball in field. Owen Darm away. Dispay with a very strong header there, giving no room at all for Philip Goodrum. Darm with the throw in midway inside his own half. Booth. Pacheco. Andrew Booth has really impressed me tonight, and he's an uncomplicated player. Here he is on the ball now, and you rarely see him give the ball away.
It's a really valuable trait, especially in the midfield when you want to maintain possession. He doesn't make a ton of errant passes.
Harvey Sinclair's done well to get a throw in there, but it was, to be fair, good tracking back as well by Gwenzati. Sinclair gets blocked by Stanley, who goes on the scurrying run down the left-hand side. Lasso steps in, does well. And then in comes the 33-year-old Uruguayan. Gwenzati to concede the throw-in. 0-0 the score. Playing the 49th minute. Plenty of options, I think, for both coaches on the bench. Here's Booth. Now Pacheco with a little bit of space to run into. Diogo Pacheco being driven wide, and Dispay has seen that, and was no way was Pacheco going to go around Dispay there.
No, and Pacheco had runners in the box. I think Goodrum a bit frustrated that the ball wasn't released faster there, but good defending from Dispay to just force Pacheco out wide as FC Tulsa with a throw in here, trying to get some numbers up.
Last clean sheet for Indy 11. We'll come to that in a minute. Ball flicked off the head of Goodrum, and that's going to go for a goal kick. Last clean sheet was San Antonio in the 1-0 victory at home for Indy 11. Salt, one of only 2 Alaskans to play, currently playing in the USL Championship. The only Alaskan ever to play for Indy 11. Ball headed on, that's going to go all the way through to the aforementioned. Salt was also in Team of the Week for 15, 3 clean sheets. He also had Save of the Week in week 19. Lasso. Sinclair deep in his own territory up towards Goodrum. Goodrum did well there to get it back to Diallo, but then a combination of Stanley and Chapman Page managed to cut down the space. It'll be a throw into FC Tulsa, who are slowly getting into this second half and probing a little bit more, Anna, as the referee has to attend to an injury. And you just wonder what Mario Sanchez said. And also, you know, as I said in commentary a few months ago, both of these coaches have very good players to bring on from their benches tonight.
They do. Both teams have good depth. I think FC Tulsa coming out in the second half, we've seen Pacheco get more on the ball, have some good delivery, and you've seen runners in the box. Philip Goodrum's had a couple of opportunities with his head that have just been well defended from Indy 11. So good start for FC Tulsa. Indy 11 trying to settle in offensively here in the second half, but so far FC Tulsa's had a strong start in the attacking third.
Friday night football here at One Oak Field as Harvey Sinclair pulls back Gwenzati. Referee's been on top of the action, and that is a Pele yellow card for Harvey Sinclair. Josh O'Brien with the free kick. There's the pull from Harvey Sinclair, getting him the Pele yellow card. O'Brien then with a long free kick into the area, but that's just going to go all the way through, almost kept in by Douglas Martinez, but it runs away, and that's kind of been the story of the night for both teams, hasn't it? There hasn't been, because of good defending, good goalkeeping, there hasn't been too much happening in either box, has there?
No, there hasn't, and you know, we've seen moments like this throughout the season where both teams are just organized, defending well, as you mentioned, and it takes a moment of kind of individual brilliance and just kind of someone that takes that responsibility and just goes and takes over the game. And I don't know who that will be for either team. We've seen moments from Philip Goodrum and Pacheco and Indy 11 trying to get things going back on the other end, but both teams needing someone to step up here.
Here's Mines. Run an awful long way. Booth's back there trying to get a foot in, and he does. Strong run from Mines. He's had a good game. Gibson trying to go towards the left-hand side. O'Brien to Stanley. O'Brien's gone on the overlap. Boubacar Diallo's done really well defensively there. Got himself out of a very tight corner, and in the end runs into Gwenzati, but he did well to defend there, Anna. Boubacar Diallo.
He did, and had good body positioning as well, able to get himself a bit of space as he had his first assist last week and that great goal with Goodrum, and he's had a solid game so far tonight as FC Tulsa on the break here.
Yeah, Dom, good ball in, Goodrum, chance! And Philip Goodrum has just put it wide. It was a wonderful through ball, and he could not have wished for a better ball to his feet, and he just drags it wide. Anna Bergel, have you seen such a thing?
It's unlikely for a player like Goodrum to miss from this angle. Really outstanding ball in behind, and Goodrum, by his reaction and by his own standards, knows that he should have done better there. But the FC Tulsa players, after that last play, trying to pick him up, trying to, reinstill that confidence. That was a wonderful build-up, excellent ball in from Owen Dom, and things like that will continue to put you in good scenarios, and a player like Philip Goodrum will definitely want that one back.
Yeah, wonderful ball, wasn't it, from Owen Dom? Just dragged it wide, did Philip Goodrum. Did everything right. Booth again stepping in. He impresses me more and more as this game goes on. Dispay leaves him on the ground. Here's Goodrum. Can he get a decent ball in? That's going to come off Goodrum for a goal kick as the world demands low cost, low carbon energy. Williams will be there with the best transport, storage and delivery solutions. Williams, we make clean energy happen. 0-0 in the score, but 1-1 in the shots on target. I guess Goodrum's shot doesn't count as a shot on target, does it? But it was the nearest FC Tulsa have come to breaking the deadlock and getting a shot past this man in frame now here, Hunter Salt. Both sets of substitutes warming up vigorously on the far side. Dam curling a ball in behind Mines here to Pacheco. Pacheco's first touch put him in trouble. Mines just feels the contact and goes down.
Back to back from Dom. You can see how crucial his delivery can be when he's able to pick his head up and find those runners and that movement ahead of the ball, and that was something coming into the game that we've talked about as kind of a theme for FC Tulsa. When Pacheco makes those runs, and obviously the goal scoring opportunity from Goodrum as well, when you have players like Dom that are able to execute on those passes, give them an opportunity or space to run into, FC Tulsa with a couple of good looks here in these last few minutes.
Salt then clears from his own area and slices that one out. It's going to be a throw in to FC Tulsa. Owen Dam sprinting down the left-hand side. Wanted Pacheco to throw the ball down the line to him. Here's Goodrum. Goodrum's run into trouble. Dispay. Gibson. Josh O'Brien. Boubacar Diallo steps in. No foul, says the referee. Harvey Sinclair. Goodrum wants it delivered into the box, but he doesn't get it over Callum Chapman-Page, who stood his ground there. And then Lasso with a strong challenge. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. 58th minute here at One Oak Field. Dave Saunders, Anna Berger with you. Pacheco, Dispay with a foot up challenge, and he's going to get a yellow card. Some would say he's a little bit unlucky there, but I think the referee will say probably the studs were showing.
I think initially 1v1, it was a really good tackle. Then there might have been just a little extra there on the end of that tackle. That's what the referee is calling Dispay for. We'll get another angle here, 1v1, but when you come in like that with your studs up, it's dangerous, deemed reckless by the referee.
Tell you what, you have to be careful if you leave the ground. I don't think he was jumping in two-footed, but you have to be so careful, and I can see exactly why the referee has given that yellow card on the replay. Free kick to FC Tulsa again. It's quite a way out here, probably 30 plus yards. Philip Goodrum and Boubacar Diallo are over the ball. Will it be the left foot of Diallo or the right foot of Philip Goodrum? A line of 10 red shirts holding the 18-yard line. Referee blows his whistle. Philip Goodrum comes up towards goal, and it's just wide of the target. I think, to be fair, Salt had it covered, but it was one of those that could have easily embarrassed the keeper. Philip Goodrum close again.
It's a good effort from Goodrum, and a player like Salt at his height and wingspan is going to be tough to beat him from that distance. But Philip Goodrum wanting another opportunity. You can see his reaction there. He just wants to get one in for his FC Tulsa team after he had a solid opportunity a few moments ago, trying to find another one, as we'll see a flurry of substitutions here for Indy 11.
Yeah, Callum Chapman-Page has come off, so that'll be a straight swap for Ben Afemu, who's going to come on. Dispay will move to the middle. Josh O'Brien to the left of the three, and Afemu's come on that right-hand side. Oggy Williams has come on up front. Bouchoir away, headed back by Dispay. Lasso. Good ball now to Goodrum. Stevanovic here finds Pacheco. Chance for Pacheco onto his left foot. Great recovery tackle from Ben Afemu, who has just come onto the field. That is outstanding defending from someone who has just entered the fray.
Immediately thrown into the fire. Great quick release here from Stojanovic. And Pacheco, his first touch is key here. He goes inside, initially beats the defender, but a great recovery as he tries to cut back to the outside on his left foot. Great awareness here, quick recovery, and denying a key goal-scoring opportunity for FC Tulsa.
There's the ball into the box, punched away by the keeper from the Katrina Freshmax corner. Back in from Bouchoir. Lasso, and that will be easy for the goalkeeper. Logan Neidlinger came on as well in that triple substitution, and here he is, Neidlinger. Can he make an immediate impact? That's the shot coming in from Romario Williams, and it's high, wide and handsome, and it remains 0-0. Just wonder what FC Tulsa might do here. Anna, perhaps the new man makes an impact. Batch, you've got Milo Yosef, Alex DeLu, Patrick Segrist. I mean, there's some good substitutes to bring on for the coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Batch makes an appearance, and then, you know, I like St. Clair. He brings, you know, good delivery in, but he struggled tonight with some of those deliveries trying to beat the first defender, so I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Milo Yosef has the ability to be impactful there. But a couple of good options on the bench for FC Tulsa. But really in these last few minutes, I mean, the players on the field have obviously been able to get in those good areas and have been building on something.
Sebastian Guenzati it was who came off as well. And Ben Mines. So positivity from the coach. But it's FC Tulsa on the attack here. Diallo into the box. Salt made a bit of a mess of that one, and Pacheco would have seen it late, and he hits it just into the side netting.
Great ball in on that back post, and I think Pacheco was a bit surprised that that made it all the way through, especially with a goalkeeper like Salt. We'll get a look on the replay. Cheeky ball over the top to initially find Diallo out wide. And Pacheco trying to get that ball back across, but just not able to keep it in.
Game on a knife edge, 0-0. Aidan Stanley with the long throw, looping it down that left-hand side, headed in field. Oggy Williams is in there. Good man to bring on. Here is Williams, and there's a shot, and it's turned away by Peñaranda. And Oggy Williams, with 5 goals this season, is a very good substitute to bring on. There's Romario Williams, who'll be up front with his namesake, and we have a Katrina Freshmax corner to be taken by Cam Lindley. Second spell with Indy 11, Cam Lindley, first time in 2020. Here is his ball into the box, headed away by Bradley Bourgeois. Flicked on. Back from Tyler Gibson, the captain today. Femu. Good defending, and it rolls nicely into Peñaranda's hand. You just wonder whether this game of football is going to be won by some kind of brilliance from someone. Plenty of attacking options on the bench, as we said, for FC Tulsa. Indy 11 have got plenty of attacking options on the field right now. Pacheco dumps it down the left-hand side. There's a bit of work for Stojanovic to do, but he's got there, the number 19. He plays a ball into the box. Gudrun couldn't get it under control. Here's Booth. Booth has got Diallo on the right. Booth chips the ball in here to Stojanovic, and it's just overdone. And it just skidded away, and it will be a goal kick. Bill Knight Ford is a proud sponsor of FC Tulsa. Bill Knight Ford is Oklahoma's #1 Ford dealer for 15 years running. Stop by today and get your hands on your new Ford today. Bill Knight, home of the Knight advantage. So big moment here for FC Tulsa, signed this week. Faisal Batch, the Englishman, wearing 77. What can he do? Goal kick. There is the coach, Mario Sanchez, who excited to have him. He said he's a dynamic attacking player. Here's Douglas Martinez. Into the box, away, and here is the substitute, Batch. Now, what an immediate impact can he have? Well, he just trips on the field there. Looked to be going really well. That's a fine challenge coming. Well, I say fine challenge. So he got the wrong side of Oggy Williams. He's wearing 77. Batch, born in Westminster in London. Douglas Martinez. Just giving the ball away. Of course, Westminster was giving the office staff here a little test when we're off air about Westminster. Of course, Big Ben, Houses of Parliament, Westminster Abbey. So he's had a lot of time in West London with Queen's Park Rangers, total of 11 years youth and first team. And he made nearly 30 appearances for St Louis 2. And then he came to FC Tulsa via Tacoma Defiance in the MLS Pro. Excited to see what he can do and how he can link up with the likes of Goodrum and Pacheco. Dispay heads back to Salt. We've played 67 minutes here at One Oak Field and it's still 0-0. The other with Stanley. Needlinger down that left-hand side. Needlinger's continued his run here. Ball is pulled back, fortunately for FC Tulsa's point of view. Bradley Bouchoir is there. Forward it goes. Dispay volleys away. Booth gets it to Pacheco, immediately under pressure from Afemu. Darm, clever to Booth. Booth gets a 1-2 with Lasso. Harvey Sinclair has the ball blocked by Neidlinger. Andrew Booth again, single, in a 0-0 draw. I'm singling him out. He's not put a foot wrong for FC Tulsa.
No, and the way that he plays, being so simple, is really powerful in the midfield for FC Tulsa, maintaining possession, the combination play, the vision, and the calmness that he brings as well. Really good addition to this FC Tulsa team, and he's shown really well throughout this game.
Sinclair to Goodrum. Clever flick from Goodrum. Here is Batch. Finds Pacheco. Pacheco tries to return the favour. And now Darm is in a sprint with Douglas Martinez. Martinez has committed the foul. I think it's when you reach your arm out like that you're putting the referee under some pressure to make a decision. Sawahi, Lasso, Darm. Clever ball, looking towards Booth. There's Dispay, who's had a good game for me in the back three. Just curls that one out. It's going to be a throw into FC Tulsa. In the 70th minute here at One Oak Field. FC Tulsa have had their best success here at One Oak Field. That ball's cut out well by Neidlinger. Now a real chance as they run at the defence here. Ball's going to come back here to Afemu. Now Martinez back across the box. Lindley will pick it up on the edge of the box. Clever turn from Neidlinger, who puts it wide of the target, but he looks lively. Coming on that left-hand side with Aidan Stanley. That's a pretty good pairing down that Indy 11 left.
It was, in the pace of play that Indy 11 was driving at the back line, really encouraging for them. FC Tulsa did well to compact quickly, force Indy 11 around the 18-yard box to try to find that clear-cut shot on goal. Dangerous ball into the box, good defending again. But FC Tulsa trying to make things compact and difficult, but the quick turn and hits always dangerous, and if that's on target, it could be a different story, but a good opportunity from Indy 11.
Dispay forward, got it to Augie Williams. O'Brien. Lindley away. FC Tulsa's overall, they've won 5, drawn 6 and lost 6. They're currently 10th, played 17 on 21 points. Here's Stanley trying to go into the box, cut out well. Diallo up to Philip Goodrum with Josh O'Brien for company. Goodrum's done well to get away from him, and then O'Brien's come in from behind, and I think that'll be an easy Pele yellow card to give the Irishman. FC Tulsa have had home wins against San Antonio and Miami, both by 2-1, and then Memphis by 1-0. They've only lost at home here to Charleston Battery and Oakland Roots. Would love to get another 4th place team under their belt. But at the moment, this game's standing firm at 0-0. 72nd minute. Diallo, great first touch and turn. Some ooze from the crowd as they enjoyed that piece of action. Here's Pacheco, who always looks lively when he gets the ball. Batch, Darm, Batch again. Settling in nicely. Clever ball over the top, looking for Owen Darm. Douglas Martinez gives Darm a little push there. Got to be careful. Anything in it for you, Anna?
I think it's going to be tough for the referee to make that call there, especially Owen Darm trying to get around the outside. There have been some challenges all around. It's a tough challenge. It's a tough challenge. Watching it again, I can understand the reaction from the crowd after that. There was no clear play towards the ball there.
It is amazing, isn't it? People say to me all the time about watching this wonderful game, if that's on the halfway line or in the centre circle, it's a free kick straight away. As soon as it's in the box, it becomes a little bit more precious, doesn't it? Here's Darm, who didn't get the free kick. Batch has continued his run down the left-hand side.
I think noteworthy too, Dave, is, Batch, really creative ball over the top. He's come in and immediately tried to find creative ways and be involved in this attack, which has been encouraging for FC Tulsa for his first few minutes in the home uniform.
Yeah, it looks like he's been in an FC Tulsa side for a long time, just settled in. This is his first minutes for FC Tulsa, signed this week. Stanley gets a foot in. Pacheco's there with Afemu. Here's Lindley. Pacheco dives in with Lindley. Batch. Pacheco runs into Dispay. Play on, says the referee. Now there's a one-on-one between Oggy Williams and Bouchoir, and in the end, Sawahi tidies up and heads back to Peñaranda. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favourite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Crowd trying to get behind FC Tulsa here at One Oak Field. Ball's going to run harmlessly away. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving. Referee's right there. Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa is your place for fun and entertainment after the match. Enjoy a world-class casino experience with high-stakes tables and over 1,600 electronic games. Just 4 miles from One Oak Field. Osage Casino Hotel, Tulsa. Another substitution here as Alex DeLu comes on. Alex DeLu is another attacking player, and a Berghol. And there's Boubacar Diallo, who's worked very, very hard tonight. So almost a like for like. DeLu will come on that right-hand side. So it's pretty attacking now from FC Tulsa.
And especially in the second half, FC Tulsa has looked more lively from an offensive standpoint and bringing on just the fresh legs, extra energy. They've had some really good looks and they've almost been able to find the back of the net. So these substitutions, hopeful that they can make a difference and be that extra push that they need to find a potential game winner.
Dispay again stepping in. How many times have we said that tonight? Now here's Douglas Martinez down that right-hand side into the box here. Chips a clever ball into the box. It's headed away, and then it comes off the face of an Indy 11 player who's okay. Might have been Tyler Gibson. Now there's another man down, but still we go on. Dispay will bring in Afemu, who will bring in Douglas Martinez, but there's Owen Darm. Those two have battled hard, and again Martinez just a little bit overzealous there in the back. Owen Darm's had another good game. Hannah Berghol, him and Harvey Sinclair at left back and right back have kind of made those berths their own, haven't they, really?
They have, and I've been really impressed with Owen Dom. Watching him 1v1, you can tell the positioning of his body. He's very thoughtful. He doesn't dive in. He's really good at anticipating the next move and stepping in when necessary. So he's done a really good job making it difficult there to find any clear-cut chances or delivery.
13 minutes of the 90 left for the deadlock to be broken. Dispay with Goodrum. Goodrum got a header on there. Afemu's under pressure from Delou. Anywhere will do. Pacheco wants to take the throw in quickly. Finds Philip Goodrum. Gives it back to Pacheco, who stayed onside. Pacheco against Afemu. Tries to go through the legs of Afemu, but Afemu's having none of that, and he clears. And then a header away by Sawahi. So two pretty attacking lineups on the field now, Anna.
And I think it shows, I mean, in the first half it was a bit stale between both teams, really not a lot of chances on goal. They had spells of possession. They were trying to, settle in, figure each other out, feel the other team out. And in the second half, it's definitely been more action-packed from an offensive standpoint, and both teams have had their fair share of chances.
Sawahi hits it to Dam, up to Goodrum. That's overzealous challenge from Adrian Dispay, who I think, well, a yellow card's been shown there, and I'm just wondering, has the referee got the right defender there?
Yeah, it looked
or was it for Afemu kicking the ball away?
Could be that, because you're right, the initial contact there on Dispay, but then the clearance after. Dispay needing to be mindful as well, as he also sits on a yellow card.
Yep, another Pele yellow card is shown. Bourgeois. Pacheco. Clever to Andrew Booth. Delou. And a header from Dispay is going to give FC Tulsa a Katrina Freshmax corner kick. And you just wonder, from something like this, Anna, can the game of football be won?
It could, and FC Tulsa's done a good job there of turning Indy 11 where they're facing their own goal, and there's a chance there where you saw the ball played in behind, forcing a header out because you can't see what's behind you, so needing to play safe, resulting in a corner kick here for FC Tulsa.
Harvey Sinclair then with the corner. Good ball into the area, double fist away from Salt. Back in from Batch, here's Lasso, back to goal. Goodrum's there as well, and there was a foul by Lasso. Well, it finished Hartford Athletic 0, Phoenix Rising 0. Here it's 0-0, and we're playing coming up to the 18-minute mark. I can tell you there's been goals in Colorado. Las Vegas took the lead after 26 minutes, but Feuberg has equalised 5 minutes later, so currently 1-1 there. Plenty of action, of course, tomorrow in the USL. Plenty of good games to see. Going to see Carson Henderlong come on for Indy 11 to take the place of Mario Williams. Chance here, ball into the box, good one into the box, and Augie Williams just couldn't get his angle right as the ball was played slightly behind it.
FC Tulsa caught sleeping a bit defensively there. Indy 11 does a great job on that left side with pace, immediate substitution impact there, and Augie Williams just falling away, leaning back a bit, not able to square and put that one back on frame. But a good opportunity.
The USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Galazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Throw in to the home side. FC Tulsa playing from right to left in those white shorts, white socks and Patrina green shirts. Owen Dam, the left back, who's had a good game. plays the ball back to the Frenchman Sawahi under a little bit of pressure from Carson Hendelong. Hendelong's in his first pro contract with Indy 11.
Henderlong did a great job there to cut the field in half. You saw his body trying to frame off the one side of the field, allowing Indy to pressure there, and they did a great job, forced the turnover, and now a chance here off the throw-in with numbers up.
Dom. Batch. Looks up and only sees red-shirted players, but manages to find Harvey Sinclair. He's sliced that one out. Aidan Stanley with the long throw. Hendelong is there. Here's Booth. Can't find Goodrum. We've got 8 minutes left. Free kick for FC Tulsa. Want to wish Indy 11 all the best, of course, in the semi-final of the Open Cup. They've had a wonderful run, and it was the first win against an MLS opponent when they beat Atlanta United by 2-1. The second Indiana team to ever reach the semi-finals, Indianapolis Inferno in 1992, and the 15th time a lower division team has reached the semi-finals since the MLS joined the competition in 1996, and the 10th different club. So all the very best to them. They're going to play Sporting KC at the end of August, flying the flag for the USL Championship. Here it's 0-0 between FC Tulsa and Indy 11. As we said, it's 5 wins to FC Tulsa in the head-to-head series, 2 for Indy 11 and 1 draw. Both of the wins for Indy in the series have come here. Here's Salt with the goal kick with time running out. Augie Williams flicked the ball on, but it's belted away by Sawahi. Dizpay again is not given Goodrum any space to play whatsoever. Sinclair with Needlinger. Substitution for FC Tulsa. Patrick Segrist has come on for the hard-working Harvey Sinclair, which means that Owen Darm will finish the game at right back. Segrist, who was on loan with Indy 11, made 29 appearances. Another connection between these two. Batch tried to go through everybody. He's continued his run. So's DeLu. Here's Pacheco. Moment of magic needed. Pacheco blasts it over the top. Goodrum is frustrated because he wanted the ball played along the ground and a tap in at the far post. But Pacheco a little bit overzealous there.
I think if that ball gets released quicker, you'll get a look at the runs inside the box. Batch had continued his run, and for a split second he was available, and then Goodrum running in. To Pacheco's credit, there were a lot of numbers in the box. Opt to go on goal, but nothing going there. Nothing to challenge goalkeeper Solt on frame.
FC Tulsa have had a couple of 0-0 draws. Still time, of course, yet. As the ball's played into box, there's Booth again. A strong challenge coming in, but an offside. No 0-0 draws at all for Indy 11. FC Tulsas have come at home here to Sacramento Republic, and also at Monterey Bay. When we showed you in the opening to the program, Peñaranda, the goalkeeper, got about to take this one. That man in shot saved a penalty and kept the game at 0-0. So still time, 4 minutes of the 90. Dizpay has been one of the Indy players of the match, in my opinion. Segrist. A Famous headed that one on inadvertently, and then there's Dispay again heading back to Salt, and Salt quickly bowls the ball out to Aidan Stanley. Stanley will approach the halfway line. Tracking back was Deleu. Cam Lindley. Straight onto the head of Sawahi, who heads it up towards Philip Goodrum. Goodrum now, 3 against 3. Goodrum could go all the way himself. He goes out here to Batch. Batch onto his left foot, lays it back. It's Booth, scuffs his shot. Booth again, hits the defender. And now from a long way out, Edwin Lasso, and Cam Lindley, I think, felt that. But good job for his team that he was in the way, Anna Burkle.
Good defending, able to snuff out a few shots. We'll get a look here on the replay. Goodrum did a great job using his body and then able to bring the ball down and drive centrally at the back line. Had options on either side. Players running in, Booth coming in late there, and a good block ultimately, and then trying to go from long range there. But FC Tulsa with numbers, you'd like to see a better option there on frame. Ended up going back from a long range distance shot when you had numbers going forward. And those are the moments where we've talked about needing to be clinical in front of goal, and there have been some frustration. There have been runners in the box, and again, that final pass has been lacking for FC Tulsa to get them in a position to have a clean chance on frame.
Plenty of liquid being taken on board here by both sets of players. Indy 11 will go to Charleston Battery on Friday the 2nd of August. 24 hours later, FC Tulsa will be going to a team just below them in the league, incredibly, San Antonio, a team that they've already beaten at home here by 2-1. And then it's a couple of home games in August for Indy 11 against Rhode Island and New Mexico United. FC Tulsa will be back here against Orange County on Friday, August the 9th, before they travel to New Mexico United. Diego Sanchez has come on for FC Tulsa, and Cam Lindley has gone off for Indy 11. So late on here, Aidan Stanley, anywhere will do. Diego Sanchez for Indy 11, my correction. Came on for Cam Lindley. Is there somebody who's going to unlock the door? We think there's going to be 4 minutes to be added on the end of this one. Now, a lot of space here for Alex Deleu. All of a sudden, it's opened up for him. Pacheco, oh, nearly a very fine ball if Deleu had just carried his run on. FC Tulsa had 4 attacking players. Bourgeois, clever ball from him. He's had a good game at the back for FC Tulsa. Both defences have played extremely well. Batch, Lasso, Darm. 4 minutes there of Tulsa Tech stoppage time to be added on. Darm can't get the ball from under his feet. Bourgeois got to be careful, does well to evade the challenge of Carson Hendelong. Seagrass not venturing forward too much. Patrick Seagrass. Sawahi steps in. Deleu goes down. Free kick to FC Tulsa. Well, as I often say from this privileged position, we've seen late drama here many a time, Anna Burgle. Is it going to happen tonight? We wait and see. 3.5 minutes left of the Tulsa Tech stoppage time. A moment of brilliance from someone needed here.
Deleu doing a good job stepping in quickly there, knowing that there will be some physical contact to earn this free kick late for FC Tulsa. See a few players staying back, but for the most part, FC Tulsa wanting to go for the 3 points here.
Well, both defences have really been on top tonight. Is that going to be the case for the next 3 or so minutes? Line being held on the 18-yard line. They go out wide here. Batch to Darm. Darm, good ball into the box. There's almost a brilliant diving header from Gudrun. Sawahi missed it as well. And now Oggy Williams is going to try and get things going. But FC Tulsa managed to get the ball back. Gudrun inches away from that one, Anna.
Couldn't have really asked for a better ball from Owen Dom. Great execution there as that ball finds its way out to the touchline, and Owen Dom with a curler in, players running in on goal. We'll get a look. So unbelievably close, and then good defending again from Indy 11. O'Brien there timed that well as FC Tulsa had other runners.
Brilliant ball from Segrist here to Philip Gudrun. Gudrun just got in between two minds really there, didn't he? Could he have had a shot? Then he tried to play Pacheco in. The result was a goal kick, and both sets of players can settle down from this goal kick. Well, thank you for joining us tonight on ESPN Plus, Cox Your View and Cox Channel 3. Is there going to be a late winner here? Here's a foul. Game has been littered with fouls. Nothing malicious. Both sets of players have wanted to try and get on with it. That's 7 Pella yellow cards in the game. Sawahi. Headed back by Hayden Stanley. Tyler Gibson picks up the ball for Indy 11. And that ball is played forward, and Peñaranda can just take some time out here. We've got 45 seconds left. And both teams have rather cancelled each other out tonight, which tells you that there's been some very good performances, particularly at the back, against some pretty good strikers from both teams, we should say as well. Dispay has been amazing at the back for Indy 11. We know his prowess, Anna, and you could say the same about Sawahi and Bourgeois have performed well tonight.
Yeah, Sawahi Bourgeois up against an attack that scored 31 goals this season, tied for 4th most in the USL Championship, so nothing to sneeze at.
Now, chance here. Ball back across goal. And it's going to be the end of the game, says the referee, and both teams will shake hands and have to be content with a 0-0 stalemate. The first one of the season, incredibly, for Indy 11. FC Tulsa's third. Anna Burgle.
I mean, really, in the first half, both teams didn't have a lot going for them offensively. There weren't a lot of shots on goal. FC Tulsa had a tough time finding a clear-cut chance, but then in the second half, things really came to life for both teams in the attacking third. There were more opportunities. They were playing with more energy, and you just felt that one of these teams was going to break the deadlock. There were some really good chances, and some chances that some of these forwards wishes they might have had back. Philip Gudrum found himself in a really good position, and it's rare that a player of his caliber misses those opportunities, but also a player like him will come back in the next game and immediately make up for it. A good performance. Obviously, both teams wanting to walk away with 3 points, but will have to settle for the point.
Well, don't go away. We've got a little bit to wrap up before we let you go tonight. Full time. FC Tulsa 0, Indy 11 0.
Summertime is back at Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, and we have the perfect getaway for you. Cool off in our spacious freeform pool, grab your favorite drink and chill at the poolside bar, or relax and unwind in a cozy private cabana. Just steps away are tempting restaurants, live entertainment, and a world-class casino gaming experience. At Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, your place to stay and relax.
The experience to adapt
learn, and grow defines Williams. We've delivered natural gas to power change for over a century. Now we're investing in next-gen technologies to move toward a low-carbon future. We can reduce emissions and meet rising energy demands because experience powers us.
FC Tulsa's third 0-0 stalemate of the season, their second home here at One Oakfield. It wasn't without the want of trying for both sets of players, but let's have a look at the highlights with Anna Bergel, and it got a little bit better for FC Tulsa in the second half.
It did. A lot more action in the second half, and you know, when you have players like Pacheco and Goodrum, they'll find a way into that final third to make things happen, but unfortunately they just weren't able to find the back of the net. This was a golden opportunity for FC Tulsa. Rare that Goodrum misses from that point. Tried his luck here at a long range free kick as well, but you had substitutions come in making a difference. You had some good movement ahead of the ball, which coming into this game was key for Sanchez. And credit Indy 11, they had some solid moments of defending here in these crucial moments for FC Tulsa, especially when they had numbers running at goal, options on both sides, and Indy 11 made it very compact. They made it difficult. They had some good blocks late in the game, and they held strong, and they had some chances of their own as well in the second half. Both teams really brought more energy in the attacking third, but ultimately not able. This was inches away from a potential game winner for FC Tulsa, but nonetheless the game ends 0-0 as we get a look here at the full-time stats, Dave.
Yeah, no shots on target for the home side. You could say Goodrum's shot there just wide the target. It's a bit harsh, he didn't get one on the ball for shots on target. Bit of a story of the night, but I think we alluded to it in the commentary. Sometimes you just see two good goalkeepers, two good defences, and everything gets cancelled out.
Yeah, good defending on display for sure. I think if you're, FC Tulsa or Indy 11, you kind of felt like it got away from you a bit because there were some really good moments. I think FC Tulsa in the second half had the better of those chances, especially when you have players running at goal, facing up, and just not able to put it on target. As you see there, shots have to be on target to go in goal. When you can't do that, you're not going to be able to find the win. But nonetheless, a really good team in Indy 11. FC Tulsa walking away here with a point coming off of the win last week against Memphis. So something good to continue to build on for sure.
Yeah, you could say FC Tulsa are last three unbeaten. Let's see where they go next, and I'll tell you the answer. It's next Saturday, and it's down to San Antonio. 6 days after that, they'll be home here again against Orange County, who are going pretty well. And then it doesn't get any easier because New Mexico are having a wonderful season. FC Tulsa have 3 away games in August at New Mexico, at Memphis 901, and at Detroit City FC. What about Indy 11, who collect their first 0-0 draw of the season? Well, they will go to Charleston Battery next Friday before home games against Rhode Island and New Mexico, and then they go to Las Vegas and home again to finish out August against Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. Anna Bergel's been alongside me all night. FC Tulsa improving defensively, and when you think about the lineup that both they and Indy 11 actually had on the field, there are some good attacking players, but again, we say again, they're up against some good defensive players tonight.
It was. We were hopeful for a moment of individual brilliance from an offensive perspective, but that man right there, one of the key players defensively for FC Tulsa, held down the fort. 0-0, both sides, an excellent display defensively, and neither team walking away with the 3 points, but will have to settle with the draw.
There you go. The players are signing the autographs as they always do. Thank you so much, Anna Bergel, for your company tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to our wonderful producer and all of our camera operators and all of the team that bring the sights and sounds. Alas, we couldn't bring you a goal tonight. We'll try and do it all again when Orange County are in town. That's before FC Tulsa go down to San Antonio next week. Thank you. Take care, everybody. It finished here 0-0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.